Hey guys, this is the only one here to talk to you guys about Attack on Titan chapter 118. So there is a lot going on in this chapter, much to talk about, so let's get right in. The chapter begins with Zeke doing what I thought he might be able to do. This was what I was thinking about in the last chapter, whether he can actually reach the blimps. And this is actually, in my opinion, one of the best things that he could have done, because it strategically takes away the Marleyan advantage that they had over Paradise. And it also probably took out a bunch of troops that are in the blimps, meaning that if they had any reinforcements, which they probably did in there, he probably took out a bunch of them, if not every blimp. And now, if you think about it, the Marleyans really don't have a good or quick way to get out of Paradise Island, so they really now have to go and fight till the end. Now, skipping over the small scuffle between Zeke and Peak, and seeing a bunch of the Titans on the floor, like Reiner and the Joss Titan, really in a bad shape. We switch to the people in the building. We see Niall talking to Falco, and I think how Niall is showing kindness to Falco here will have an impact on him. Other than, obviously he already knowing the actual situation here and seeing that it's not really necessarily Paradise that's always been in the wrong here. And so I think, or I hope, that Falco becomes a good character. Onion Capon, God, I butchered that name, lets out the Survey Corps, the Survey Corps members, which I also think is a great move, because not only is one of them, Armin, being a Titan shifter, but also they have the most experience dealing with not only Titans, but even the Marleyans since the invasion they had. In the conversation that follows with Onion Capon, we actually learn about an important piece of information that I was wondering about a few chapters ago. So we learned that not only Zeke knew the plan, but some of his followers, but I was wondering if actually everybody knew. Now we only know that only a few of them actually knew the plan, and this makes a lot more sense, because I thought it was kind of strange how he could get a big following like that under him with such a plan in mind, and how they could all just agree, yeah, we'll just, go with euthanasia, just euthanize all of us, right? Armin also brings some sense into the conversation, reminding everyone of who Eren really is, and I appreciate this because this is a lot of what us fans have been saying since the start. One thing I also appreciated is the detail about how he had to accept the offer. So if, otherwise, if Eren didn't accept that offer, he could have been actually making another enemy, a enemy that he really doesn't have to have, because if you think about it, really, like, their end goal, or at least the people under Zeke, maybe not Zeke himself, is just to have peace between people. Well, Zeke, Zeke's goal is also to have peace between people, but his way of going about it is a bit extreme. And with the world already being your enemy, it would be even worse to have no allies. And it's not only that, though, but by teaming up with Zeke, now he has a big chance of fighting back, which is, for example, the rumbling. Not only that, but he has a strong ally like Zeke, another Titan shifter, that knows the landscape of how the world works, right? And this is something that Paradise doesn't have, and that is experienced with the other countries and the other players in the game. Armin also mentions how activating the rumbling, even if briefly, and crushing Marley would set an example to all the other countries. But at the same time, I don't think that would be like a permanent warrant for them, like to not mess with the Paradise Island or the Eldians. Because I think in my head, like the way I think about it is that nations will just lay low, try not to deal with the Eldians or anger them. But the moment that they have any chance to kind of like overtake them or deal with the Eldians, they probably will. And just thinking about it right now, I mean, if you think about it, with the advance of technology, we saw how some of the Titans are slowly becoming less and less of a threat. They have a bunch of weapons that are to fight the Titans. Paradise themselves created a bunch of good weapons that were specifically made to fight the Titans, and so they're becoming less and less of a threat. The use of the power of the Titans, and maybe in a few years might not be as great as we think it is. Now, Mikasa leaving her scarf behind is something very important, and I was actually having a hard time trying to figure out what it might symbolize or what it might mean. Many, of course, are saying that she's freeing herself of Eren, but I felt there was more to it than that. And so, while discussing the chapter with my sister, she actually brought a point that I really liked, and I thought it made quite a bit of sense. I thought it was a good explanation. So what she says is that her scarf is a metaphor for the Ackerman genes acting on her for Eren, So when she leaves the scarf, she's deciding that she will no longer have affection for Eren based on her Ackerman genes, or, you know, she won't just care for Eren because her genes or her biologically she has to, but now she is gonna do that based on her personal choice. You know, she's gonna freely choose that she cares for Eren because, for example, of what they've been through together, instead of just, oh yeah, her genes or biologically she just feels that way. Another panel I wanted to quickly pause at is a part where we see the blimp block the gate. I think this plays more into what I was saying at the beginning, where Marley will end up getting trapped and probably wiped, or most of them wiped. Now they don't have a good escape route. But now, not only that, but the ground troops really don't have a good escape route either. And this is actually a common strategy, maybe not necessarily a common strategy, but a very good strategy to do in war, which is to trap your opponents so they can't really escape to anywhere or even retreat, and so that you can just finish all of them off. Now, taking a look at this panel, honestly, I have no idea what to say, so, moving on. I wanted to thank the Lord here because now Gabby might actually become a good character. She's finally starting to understand the full picture, and I think this is some really great character development for her. Now I love here about, I just love these panels right here where we just see Zeke just destroying the Titans. Honestly, I never thought that him throwing rocks as a Titan is that OP. I mean, like, goddamn, dog, like, jeez, man, like every time, like, somebody's trying to even get an inch closer to Eren, he's like, nope, got ya, not happening. Alright, so let's talk about the end here. So Zeke gets shot, he falls down, which will actually make Eren's job easier in terms of getting to him, because now he doesn't have to climb an entire wall and, you know, be vulnerable in that state. Also, as a side note, just a quick note here, like, why the hell is Eren just, like, walking down the street, just strolling around like nobody's business, like nothing is happening? Like, why isn't he running, honestly? Like, what the hell? Like, can he just not run because maybe there's civilians in the way or something? But, I mean, like, seriously, Eren, please, like, hurry up. Like, come on, dog. Now, what I'm really afraid of, though, is that once Zeke uses his scream, since he will need more time to recover, Falco might end up eating him, because now he's on the ground level, and he, not only that, but he's going to be vulnerable to all the other Titans around him, and obviously the Titan shifters. And obviously, I think, you know, just not just the shout, but he can obviously control the Titans that are around him. But if he's incapacitated, that leaves him open to at least the other Titan shifters, and we know P can always transform and go down there. So I'm really hoping that not only will he scream, but either Eren gets to him before anything happens, or he has some way of defending himself, maybe getting some of those Titans around him to protect him or something like that, or maybe even using the hardening that we know he has. But I think once he uses the hardening, he can't control the Titan at the same time. Now, if Zeke gets eaten by, you know, Falco, or even anybody else for that matter, even if it's somebody from Eldiet, that will put a huge twist to the plan. Like, that'll be a big hole in the plan, because they need Zeke, especially not because obviously he's got experience with all these other things and he has important information and knowledge about the outer world, but also because Zeke has that sweet important royal blood, baby. He has that, and that is an integral part of, you know, scaring people off with the rumbling, or obviously in Zeke's mind thinking that he's going to use that with euthanasia, which honestly I don't think that's going to come. But yeah, I'm really hoping that no one eats Zeke, or like Zeke ends up dying, because if that happens, like, that is a huge twist to the entire thing, and that will just muddle everything, absolutely muddle everything. I don't even know where the Eldians would go from there with that. I mean, they can obviously, I think, even without the help of Zeke, even if he dies or somebody else eats him, I think they can still beat the Marleyans there. But I mean, there's all these, you know, nations now. They're gonna get scared if they see the Marleyans get defeated, which are one of the, you know, world superpowers from what we know and understand. Now everybody's gonna get scared, so people might start making alliances, and they'll make an enemy of Eldia. And when you have so many people with so much better technology against you, have all those things, and you only have, like, you know, obviously 2 Titan shifters, maybe 3 if the person who ends up eating him is on the Eldian side, that's still not enough to really ward people off. So I'm really hoping here, something like that doesn't happen. Anyways, guys, this is all I have for this chapter. Hope you enjoyed the review. Go ahead, do comment, subscribe, whatever, all that good stuff. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.